You're listening to the Extraordinary Everyday Podcast with Wendy Johnson, episode number 38.
Welcome to the Extraordinary Everyday Podcast, where women come to be inspired and motivated to become the best version of themselves and elevate the quality of their everyday. Now, here's your host, certified life coach, Wendy Johnson.
Hello, gorgeous friends. How are you doing today? I have to admit, I have felt stress and overwhelm this week. And it's because there are too many things to do during the holidays. You want to be able to do it all. You want to say yes to everything. You want to see people. You want to enjoy everything there is to experience. You want to buy the perfect gifts for people. But this is the problem. If you associate your holidays to stress and overwhelm, then you're not going to be happy when they're over. Maybe you're spending too much money. Maybe you're buying too many gifts. Maybe you're over decorating, overeating, going to too many parties. Whatever it is, it's going to give you those feelings that you don't want. So today, I want to talk to you about 5 tips to have extraordinary holidays so that you can experience different feelings and experience health, wellness, joy, love, and connection during the holiday season. The first tip I have for you is to start at the end. On December 31st, 2023, you just experienced your most extreme day. Write a brief description of what it was like. What were your top 3 feelings? Were they stress, overwhelm, excitement, love, connection, joy, peace? Describe your holiday and how you want to feel at the end of the year. And tip number 3, create a Baah humbug list. And this expression is used when someone does not approve of or enjoy something that other people enjoy, such as the occasion that's coming up, Christmas. This famous phrase is used by Ebenezer Scrooge, the main character in Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. He used it to suggest fraud and that Christmas festivities were a sham. So what's dragging you down? What are the obligations, expectations, traditions, people that take you further away from your top 3 desired feelings? Are you still sending out hundreds of Christmas cards and you really don't want to? Are you spending too much money and then in January, your credit cards are maxed out? Do you think gift giving is the amount of the gift that you're buying? Figure out what your Baah humbugs are. Begin to eliminate those for good from your holidays. You may have noticed that you've already made decisions that you decided you don't like. Remember those for next year. And tip number 3 is to create your delight list. What delights you? What lights you up? Who, what, and where gives you energy? How do you like to delight in the holidays? I remember one of my favorite delights when my son was young was taking him to zoo lights. And this was in Phoenix, Arizona. And I still love to do that today. I live close to the Living Desert Zoo in Palm Desert. I still love to go to zoo lights. It's cold, the air is crisp and fresh, and I feel energized. I'm doing something that's good for me. I'm out with my family or friends, and I'm getting a walk in. I may be seeing animals. What is it for you that delights you? You want to do more of those things and be with those people that bring you closer to your top 3 feelings. And tip number 4 is to break the rules. What are you going to really let go of this year? What traditions are you sick and tired of and you're ready to break? Maybe they were passed down by your families. For me, I broke the tradition of spending too much money and feeling awful in the new year when I had bills to pay off or I couldn't afford anything in the new year. So what new rules are you ready to create? Maybe you go to parties and you drink too much and you have hangovers, and that's just part of the holidays that you've experienced every year. You don't have to drink in excess or eat in excess and feel miserable, especially the next day. You want to be able to enjoy every day. Tip number 5 is to spread the holiday magic. Here I'm talking about gifts. And then gifts can come in many forms. It can come in quality time with a friend, going to lunch. It can come in words where you're reaching out to a person. It can come in thoughtful physical gifts. They don't have to cost a lot of money. In fact, you can re-gift for items that you have that you think somebody else would love. You can do acts of service and give to families, support a family who's in need. I did that for years with my book club. We were given several families and they gave us a wish list and we bought all the gifts and then brought them to their home. Gifts also come in experiences. You can go to tree lightings, taking walks in nature, driving around looking at Christmas lights, singing Christmas carols, going ice skating at the ice skating rink. I loved going ice skating down at Coronado every year. Thoughtful gift giving isn't about how much money you spend, but rather the thoughts and the intention behind it. And this is where you decide on a budget at the beginning of how much you have to spend for the entire holiday. And you decide how many gifts you want to give, and then you stick to it. I love that my family for the last, I think 6 or 7 years has been doing a gift for the females and a gift for the males. And we play music and we pass the gift around. And that's the only gift you have to give. And it's so much fun. And there's a dollar limit to it. So you're all giving the same amount. If you do these 5 tips, I promise you, you will have extraordinary holidays. And at the end of the year, with all this hustle and bustle of the season, you will have treated yourself well, and you will end the year on a high note with less stress, more presence, and you will have had more quality time and feeling better when you're gathering with your friends and family. So let's do a review of these tips. Tip number 1, start at the end. Write a brief description and list your top 3 feelings. Tip number 2, create a Baah humbug list. What traditions are moving you away from your desired feelings? Tip number 3, create your delight list. What brings you closer to your top 3 feelings? And this can be a person, a place, or an event. What brings you closer? And tip number 4, break the rules. What are you really ready to let go of this year? What traditions are you ready to break? And what new ones are you ready to create? Tip number 5, spread the holiday magic. Be thoughtful and mindful with your gifts. You can give the gift of time or experiences. It doesn't have to be a physical gift. I hope you all have an extraordinary holiday, and I look forward to being with you next week again. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, you have to come check out More You, my community of like-minded women. We show up to create the highest version of ourselves and elevate the quality of our everyday along the way. Head over to ontracklifecoaching.com/join. That's ontraclifecoaching.com/join. I'd love to see you in there. And if you haven't grabbed your copy of the Mindset Makeover, head over to ontracklifecoaching.com/makeover and get a copy that teaches and inspires you to show up as your most extraordinary self.